Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tayler Yarish Show. I just want to say this right off the bat, that I think my intro song has survived the plagiarizers, if that's a word, that were out there. I know a little while back, every commercial, every fucking advertisement everywhere was using this sound because, you know, it's a catchy it's a good sound. What can I say? And I haven't heard it in a very long time. No one sent it to me in a very long time. So I think we survived the storm, if you will. Here's the thing that happened the other day. One of my neighbors, somebody in this building, threw out a unopened, pristine copy of Bill Cosby's "Those of You With or Without Children You'll Understand" record. They threw out a brand new Bill Cosby record. Why on earth? I mean, what would bring somebody to do such a thing? It says it right here on the album. It says all new material from the #1 humorist in America. That's what he's the #1 humorist in America. Nothing else. And so I don't know why someone would just throw money away like that. You know, when they could just listen to one of the greats on vinyl. It is interesting that it's not opened. Like, I'm wondering if this was a gag gift, because I took it, and I took it because I didn't know what. I was like, let me look it up. Let me just see how much it's worth. Maybe there's somebody out there who's like, you know, I'll fucking want all of the Bill Cosby. I don't know. That wouldn't be the accent, but you know, maybe somebody would want it, but you can buy them for like $20 on Amazon, so they're not really worth anything. I'm sweating so much. Can you tell? I tried to wipe a little bit of it off before we started, but there's no air cranking in here. We haven't busted out the air conditioners yet, and it's 1,000 degrees in New York, so this is, you know, and I haven't showered in a day and a half. It is what it is, so we're sweating. But yeah, so now I just have this album, this Bill Cosby album, don't know what to do with it. You know, do I then put it out on the trash, and then somebody else is like, why would and then they take it, and then just the cycle continues. But it's not opened. I kind of wish I had a record player. I could give it a whirl, I suppose. Can you separate the art from the... Anyway, I don't know. Just felt wrong. Just felt wrong to throw out a vinyl in particular. You know what I mean? But... what can you do? You know, if you want to listen, you listen. I'm not going to ruin your fun. I'm not going to do it. Everyone's entitled to their own horseshit. Speaking of ruining fun, I was doing comedy in Sheep's Meadow Park. Sheep's Meadow or Sheep Meadow? I think it's Sheep Meadow, singular. I was doing comedy in the park the other day, and this woman walked up in the middle of somebody on stage, somebody just standing in the designated patch of grass to do comedy, and she just started going off like, you can't be doing this. This is all wrong. You can't. We did have a speaker. We did have a speaker and a microphone, which, you know, you could argue by way of the sign that was posted that said we weren't allowed to do that you shouldn't do that. But you know what? We weren't being disruptive. It wasn't that loud. It was just loud enough so that the people in front could hear without the person having to scream. But this woman, you know, she just saw fun happening. She's like, oh, these kids are having fun. They're telling jokes, and we just can't have any of that. Now, can we? And she was like, you know, she was like fully dressed, it was very hot. It was a very hot day, and she just had a lot of clothes on. She had the big sunglasses. She was wearing 7 masks, and so you just, like, I didn't know anything about her, but you knew everything about her. You know what I mean? And I remember she said, you can't be doing this. You're disrupting the park. This is an oasis. That's what she said. She said the park was an oasis. I was like, oh yeah? So the dude over there tanning his ass in a thong, is he not disrupting that's part of the oasis as well? Is that contributing? Is it because he's not being noisy? because there's, a family, trying to have a picnic right next to him. And every time they want to rip another piece off of the baguette or whatever, they got to stare at this dude's ass. He's not ruining the oasis, but our jokes are. Okay. No, sure. And then I went up and I had the microphone, and I wasn't trying to make waves. The amp was off. The amp was off. I was just holding the microphone just for symbolism, just symbolically holding the microphone, and she's just staring at me, grilling me like 10 feet away. And I was just like, I couldn't even start. I'm like, what is your deal? So I flipped the microphone upside down and just talked into the bottom of them. I'm like, is this better? Would you be more happy? And she just slowly walked. She's like, I would be more happy if it was a banana. I don't know if she was trying to make a joke. Like, if you're speaking into a banana, it wouldn't be bad. But just the fact that you have a microphone. And listen, I don't like when people just bring their own shit and they just project their voice when no one wanted it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm well on the record that I don't like people who use megaphones. But this is not one of those instances. I'm not shouting. I'm not espousing any huge, I'm not like it's not like a movement I'm starting. I'm just telling a joke, So relax there, lady. She eventually left, but somebody married that woman. And they set her free out into the world to go shut down fun. And I was glad to be a part of it, I suppose. But yeah, other than that, the show was all good. But yeah, I just couldn't get. She's like wearing all these clothes. It was 1,000 degrees. It's so hot out. It's so hot out right now. And you know who it's a struggle for? It's really a struggle for those dudes who wear beanies over their heads, but not like they just cover the top of their hair or like their head, but it doesn't go over the ears. Bothers me so much. It's such a struggle for those people right now because they're still committed to the look. They're still committed to the beanie. They're not going to take it off, even though they're wearing a tank top and short shorts and flip-flops. They still have to have the winter beanie over their head. Like, it's 90 degrees out right now, and the fashion is hanging on by a drop of sweat. Just take it off. Just get a hat. You know what I mean? Like, just get a normal hat, but you can't because their entire personality is that piece of clothing. I hate it when you can tell someone's whole personality is this thing that they've chosen to wear. Oh, what does he look like? He's a guy, he wears this thing. Oh, what's he like? Well, Carhartt? Yeah, that's what he's like. He's like Carhartt. It's such a Brooklyn thing, and I know that's like just like an overplayed point that Brooklyn is just, the hipsteriest hipster place, but they continue to outdo themselves. I'll say that. Just get a normal fucking hat, man. And I'm not saying that you can't wear it, but you should just dress like you can wear whatever you want, but for the weather at least, you look miserable. I saw this guy who was sitting outside at a picnic table and he had the hat on and he's just pouring sweat. It doesn't even look it anymore. Like it was a yellow beanie and it's like it's getting darker because of the amount of sweat. You got like a lot of hair. Shut up. Fucking God damn it. Stupid watch. What is this? A text message. Got to go to Jersey City and do a fucking show outside of a goddamn restaurant to people who don't want to hear me talk. And it just continues. I hope maybe that woman will be there. Maybe that woman will show up and tell me that I'm disrupting the oasis of, people doing drugs in a parking lot or something. I don't know. But yeah, man, just change the fashion with the seasons. That's got to happen. You know what fashion has not evolved at all is goth. I don't think goth fashion has evolved in many years. I still see dudes wearing the the Hot Topic, the big pants, the big black pants that have like the chains that connect like one leg to the other leg. I never understood that. And I'm a guy who used to wear it. I used to be goth, like back in middle school. I was like half goth, half grunge. But I still shopped at Hot Topic. Like I had a card. I had a membership, you get coupons and shit. Because like, I got to save up and get the chain wallet to connect to the chained pants. Everything was about chains. Like, so not functional, so not necessary. They had like straps coming off the pants that didn't need to be there. I don't know, in case you had to tie something to. I don't know. I was so just, what's the word? Not the opposite of influential. I was influenced a lot by what the older kids in my neighborhood would wear, and they just happened to wear the worst thing ever. And I was like, oh, is that what you wear when you want to be cool? Sure, I'll be that for 5 years. Totally. I'll totally do that. And it was, man, I wore all these band t-shirts. I grew my hair out so long as my hair had ever been. It was like down like to my shoulders, if you can imagine that. And, I rocked the shit out of it. I did my best. It was hard, though, because I was so young. I was in middle school. And, like, gothic middle school, that's just creepy. You know what I mean? It's so clearly a phase. If there's people, that are, like, 35 or, 40 and up that are wearing that stuff, and it's like, okay, I'll give it to you. You're committed. This is not a thing because you want to make your parents mad or whatever. Not that that's why I did it. I did it because I wanted to fit in, but it can go wrong. It got to a point where I almost bought, it's so embarrassing. They had these, and I can't remember if they were at Hot Topic, but they had like these things you would put on your teeth, on like your canine teeth, to make it look like you had vampire teeth. You got these like fake teeth, and you put like old people denture glue in the tooth, and then you'd stick it on top of your tooth and like wait there for it to dry, and that was it. And then you just walk around with vampire teeth. And I used to do that. I used to walk around like a fucking vampire. And you know what? I don't give a shit how many Twilight books were sold or how much, we watch vampire TV shows. It wasn't a good look. It's not actually cool to see real life vampire looking motherfuckers. It's not cool to have huge, sharp, pointy teeth, in your mouth. And there were talks that you could get it done permanently so that you didn't have to just fill in the gel in the teeth and put them in every day. You could just do it permanent. And I don't remember if I actually ever seriously considered it, but I probably did because I was that fucking dumb. I probably almost got vampire teeth glued in permanently because, those are the types of mistakes that you almost make, and then you look back and you're like, Jesus. Like, I know people regret, like, the tattoos that they get sometimes. Imagine just fucking up your teeth on purpose and then looking back on that shit because you tried to impress some gothic girl or some shit. Ugh. That would have been fucking rough, huh? I don't know. There were so many fashion choices that I felt like my fashion growing up changed like every couple years. I admittedly always was trying to wear the thing that everyone else was wearing. Like if you saw I didn't try to stand out. I tried to blend in and fit in. Hollister? Are you kidding me? Dude, I bought that whole store. I mean, the amount of t-shirts I had their shorts, I had the pants, I had the jackets, which I still have I still have a jacket that I bought a few years ago because it's the only thing that they had in the store that didn't have their brand name plastered all over the fucking jacket. I mean, just when you walk in that store and it's like all dark and it's like a club. And I don't know what the attraction was. I mean, it's all just a brand status horseshit symbol. And like, I went in one recently and it's just sad. It's just sad, man. And everything's folded so perfectly. And like Abercrombie's even worse. I don't know why, but it is. It's like people who are too douchey to shop at Hollister, they have to up the douche level and go to Abercrombie, you know, where they require you to wear jeans with flip-flops and no shirt. I had a friend who used to work at, like, Hollister, and I think he worked at Abercrombie. I'm not sure, but they legit, they're like the male, you know, or not male, I guess they hire both, but it's like Hooters, where, like, you had to look good. If you looked fucking dumpy, they're not going to hire you. I mean, they had people that stood outside of Abercrombie and Hollister to just, like, lure you in. And that whole clothing line was marketed towards, like, high schooler. It was very weird. Like, they just had, like, you know, they just handpicked high schoolers to stand outside of Hollister and Abercrombie to lure other high schoolers in to be like, hey, you could look like. It was very weird. And I know that every clothing brand basically uses, you know, looks and sex and everything to sell clothing, but it's like, hey, we're children, you know? Like that, they are the first line of, that's like where you first get the sense of like, hey, our clothes are for skinny, in shape, beautiful people. That's what we're going to market towards, except it's all kids. It's mainly kids. If you were an adult buying that shit, you were just a psychopath. I had a friend whose mom his mom wore nothing but Hollister, and it was fucking weird. You know, because you see that outfit, you see that, you know, costume, if you will, and you're like, oh, that's a high schooler's costume. You need to wear, you know, Lane Bryant or whatever, insert, I don't know, clothing, but yeah, man, it was just crazy. And then you end up being fucked because then you get to, you know, you grow out of it. And then you go to college and you literally have no clothes because everything says Hollister, and you're going into college and you realize, oh, I'm going to look like such a moron. It's like if every piece of clothing you had was a goddamn Letterman jacket, you know? Like, you're holding on to the past. Don't do that shit. I remember if you could believe it, I was prom king. Just because everyone hated the high school football team, so they just voted for me. So I was prom king, and I had they gave me a crown, and I almost took the crown to college just so I'd have the thing. You know, I wouldn't bring it up, but if somebody saw it, like, why do you have a crown? Oh, you know, and then I could talk about. I think it was my older brother who was like, yeah, don't fucking bring that. Nobody in college is going to care that you were the prom king in high school. Gross. And as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, God damn it, you're so right. It just sucked because, you know, you're like, I'm starting over. I ended high school as the prom king, which I didn't feel like the prom king, but, I was, so whatever. I was the prom king because, you know, there was like the high school quarterback. Of course, he got nominated. And then I was in drama, and all the drama kids hated the sports kids. So anybody who was a sports person, they didn't vote for them. They voted for me. And then I did the morning announcements every day. So I was on television every morning. And so you got all the kids who weren't really following it, just being, oh, I recognize that kid. And then they voted for me, which is kind of how our last president got elected. But anyway, that's how I won prom king. But it didn't feel like a victory. Because I was like, where was all this prom king status the last 4 years? How come I didn't walk down the halls feeling like King Dick up in this place? And it wasn't until the last dance where I got a little bit of goddamn respect. But what can you do? But yeah, so like you you get to a point in high school and like you have all these clothes and you have an idea of what you think is cool. And then you just get, if you went away like I did, you know, you meet new people, you meet people from different places and like, oh, they're into different shit. Like some of my friends in college, they grew up like going out to like, you know, they went to like dance clubs and shit. And nobody I grew up with went, you know, I was like, oh, is that the thing? You know, and they dressed like, had like clubby type of clothes and which it was not going to fly with me. So I just went into like a basics kind of thing. I got really into basics, which I kind of still am in today. I don't like anything flashy. I don't want you to talk to me because of something I'm wearing. If I'm being, I don't like being the loudest guy in the room, and being loud meaning like with what I'm wearing. I'm okay with blending. I don't mind blending. I have one shirt that's not even really my shirt. The person who used to live in this apartment had a package sitting here for like 3 months, and I finally just opened it, and it was this shirt. It was a floral shirt, and every time I wear it, I get more compliments than I've ever got in my entire life. And it's very tempting to be like, all right, maybe I'll just be this guy. But no, I'd rather not. I'd rather just blend in, and then every once in a while, bust out the shirt and get some likes. You know what I mean? But you just got to find what you're into. Coffee break. Hold on. You know what I am into recently? I mean, I think I've talked about this before. I'm not sure, but on YouTube, the Streetbeefs fighting ring or whatever it is. Oh God, I feel a sneeze. Yep, sneeze is coming. Come on, baby. Oh God, the anticipation is fucking killing me. Nope, went away. All right. Streetbeefs on YouTube. It's like, if you don't know what it is, it's like a backyard UFC, but none of them are professionals. Like some of them probably train a little bit, but for the most part, nobody knows what they're doing. And I'm hard pressed to say that professional fighting at the top of their game is, it's entertaining, but amateurs who don't know what the hell they're doing, it might be equally as entertaining because they just go for it. They have no like scope or scale of like how in danger they are in any position. So they'll just walk forward. Like when they start the fight, they just immediately start throwing hands. There's no kind of cautious, all right, let me figure you out, distance, timing, none of that. They just go in and start throwing hands, and it's so funny. They gas out so quick. And yeah. Like there's this like dude who runs it. He's like the head. Everybody's got, and I maybe I'm just drawn to it. I think I'm drawn to it because everybody speaks in a semi-Maryland accent, It just seems like something that my hometown would put together, And like the ref is shirtless. He's got aviator sunglasses on. I mean, it literally looks like my hometown. It looks like the woods in the back of, where my mom's house is. And it's just so funny that, like, the amount of the people that show up, the crowd they get, you just like, oh, are these the neighbors that are coming in? And everybody is trying to pitch in their advice. It's just like any other street fight. It's just weirdly sanctioned in this backyard, hick town or whatever. Like the advice that they'll throw in, like, oh, stay on him. You got to stay on him. Stay on him. That's what he's trying to say. Like if some guy's like going ahead real fast, stay on him. No, he's got to stay. Oh, get him. No, he's got him. Oh. Like they'll pitch advice that the guy should do, and then he'll do something completely different, and then the guy will like be like, all right, good, as if he did it. He'll be like, all right, straight left to the body. Straight left. No, you got to hit him straight left to the body. And then he does like an uppercut. He's like, all right, that's great. Good. Yeah, there you go. There you go. These are like soccer moms for these ex-cons who are trying to put their life back together or something. These corner men. All right, give me 30 seconds of work. Give me 30 seconds. Yeah, you got him. You got him. and they only go by their nicknames. Like everyone in the UFC has a nickname, but that's not like their actual, like you don't know what any of these people's names are. You know? They'll be like, all right, in this corner, we got Colt 45 versus in this corner, we got Baby Hulk. All right, let's get it. You're like, are these their actual? Stop fucking texting me, Jesus. Yeah, like, are these their actual names? And they'll have like they have a whole tournament that they do. And you know, there's like ranks and brackets. They have a championship fight. They're like, all right, this is championship title fight. You know, we're gonna be fighting for the belt, which my wife Shelly made. Thanks to Shelly, you know. So we're gonna have 5 rounds, 2 minutes each, and we're gonna see who wins the belt. And of course, it wouldn't be a championship fight unless we were fighting for the coveted prize of a Jiffy Lube gift card. Thanks to Jiffy Lube for giving us that, you know, hon. I mean, let's see if we can. Let me play one.
Mammoth, fighting out of Baltimore, representing North.
Boom, there you go. Fighting out of Mammoth, fighting out of Baltimore, Maryland.
You know what it is?
Quack attack out of Roanoke, Virginia.
I'm sorry. What's your name?
You know what it is?
Quack attack out of Roanoke.
Quack attack. How? This is a grown man, okay? This is a grown man with a cardboard belt on his shoulder who just said, yeah, it's a quack attack, fighting out.
Virginia, representing Team Legion, record 7-2.
Streetbeefs.
This is like the dude who runs it, and you know he puts it together.
Here's your title fight. But let me tell you first, shout out to our sponsor, Bet Online. Go to the website, 50% off your first bet up to $1,000. We got a title fight. The challenger, Mammoth. He's 2-0 in Satan's backyard.
He's 2-0 in Satan's backyard. That's what they fight in. They fight in Satan's. What should we call this? Should we, we can't take, it's not the octagon. It's not the ring. I mean, let's just call it Satan's backyard. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually the name of the development in the neighborhood that they live in. Welcome to Satan's backyard. We got townhomes, nice trailer park in the back. Satan's backyard.
Mammoth. He's 2-0 in Satan's backyard. And our 220 MMA champion, Quack Attack.
I mean, how is everyone keeping a straight face? I really don't.
And our 220 MMA champion, Quack Attack.
Quack Attack.
He's 7-2 in Satan's backyard. Be safe, fellas. Fight hard.
And then this is the ref, who, it's cold right now, I guess, where they are, but normally he is shirtless. He has aviator sunglasses on. He's got a towel, and he's not a ref. That's also very important. He's actually not a legitimate ref because, nobody wears, the refs aren't supposed to be in, construction boots and aviator sunglasses, for Christ's sake. I mean, it's like going pro in a backyard fight. You know what I mean? Like people who just kicked so many people's asses in a bar, and they were like, I'm pretty good at this. I don't know if they actually make money. Do they actually make money? Who, is Bet Online? Are they footing are they footing the bill for this whole thing? I don't know.
Back to your corner. Mouthpiece. Timer. Ready? Bang time, baby. Let's go.
There you go, Quack. There you go. You got him. Like, this dude's wearing, he's got, pajama pants on and like a pair of Nikes. Oh, he tried to do a spinning back kick. Yeah, you got him. All right, give me 30 seconds of work. There you go. There you go, hon. There you go. See, it's like this is where I belong, I think. This is, you know, these are exactly the type of people that I grew up with. And, you know, like when I go back, this is the energy. Hey, what are we doing with our lives? You know, they just cut our shifts at the Waffle House and we have nothing to do. Let's just set up an octagon and beat the shit out of each other, right? Yes, you can be Quack Attack. Of course. Of course you can be Quack Attack. I mean, why would you, you know? Well, I like to go, you know, we like to go duck hunting on the weekend, so I figured we would, you know, we was going to attack these guys. You know, we was going to attack them. And I like ducks, you know, and ducks go quack, and I figured like that's a good rhyme, right? You know, quack and attack, so I'd be Quack Attack, you know? That, you know, that'd be a good idea, you know? Yeah, the fucking, But I highly recommend you go and you check them out because they are legitimately entertaining and they're free. So, this episode is brought to you by Streetbeefs on YouTube. So go ahead and check it out. I'm going to finish the rest of this Panera coffee, which is my second one. I've had way too much caffeine today. It's probably contributing to the sweating that's going on right now. But yeah, that's the episode. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week. Subscribe, like, share, blah, 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 all that good stuff. And, we'll see you next time. Peace.